Hello, my name is Mike Mills. I am the cabinet making instructor at Northeast Technical High School. I also serve as the SkillsUSA chapter advisor. And so today I want to talk to you a little bit about SkillsUSA, what it means to be a student member, and what it could do for you if you are interested in joining and signing up. So let's take a look a little bit further. Northeast Technical High School has 3 different student organizations in which you could be involved in. These are career and technical student organizations, and they're linked to our career and technical courses. Those 3 include HOSA, which is a health occupations student, Students of America, something of that nature, and that is for healthcare students and biomedical students. There's FFA, which is for agriculture students enrolled in an agriculture course. And then there's SkillsUSA, which has the largest umbrella and covers all of the CTE classes that we offer at Northeast Tech. So even if you're involved in HOSA and FFA, if you wanted to be in SkillsUSA, you could also be a member of SkillsUSA and participate in those different organizations. You can stack those up. You don't have to be just a member of one. So SkillsUSA, what the framework is kind of lays out what SkillsUSA does for its students and how it does it. So what SkillsUSA tries to do as an organization is take your personal skills and develop those things like we see here on the screen: integrity, work ethic, professionalism, and it blends those with workplace skills, or what they sometimes refer to as hard skills, your technical skills and your technical skills. So your technical skills are the skills that you're learning in your courses, in your CTE courses at Northeast Tech. You know, maybe it's automotive, maybe it's welding, maybe it's healthcare. And then your workplace skills, this is going to be like your professionalism. This is going to be working with others, teamwork, things like that. And we try to blend and mold all of those 3 areas together, and then they all kind of feed into one another. So that's what SkillsUSA's framework helps shows us what the organization can kind of do for you and how it ties all of these areas together. We have a short little video for you to watch. It's on Mike Rowe. It's a 60-second PSA or public service announcement on what SkillsUSA is and what maybe it means to some people outside of the student educational realm, and how it can be a benefit to those students and other stakeholders. So let's go ahead and take a minute and we'll watch this video.
Mike Rowe on the skills gap and how a national nonprofit student organization called SkillsUSA is trying to fill it.
So the thing about SkillsUSA that's so cool, and the reason that my foundation has supported it for years, is that it's deliberately focused on celebrating a skill. 3 million jobs right now exist in the trades and transportation and commerce. The skills gap is real. Training kids and getting them excited to do the jobs that exist ought to be job one. SkillsUSA does that in a big way. It's about excellence and competition and being good at what you do, and eventually through all of that, learning who you are. SkillsUSA is working.
Learn more at skillsusa.org and microworks.org.
So what is SkillsUSA and how can it help you? Well, SkillsUSA is a partnership between the students and the teachers and industry working together to ensure that America has a skilled workforce. Now, SkillsUSA allows the student some opportunities and avenues to showcase some of their skills and get recognized for their abilities and skills. Other organizations like athletics and fine arts and those kind have ways that those students can showcase their talents and abilities. And these student organizations can do that for you as a hands-on learner and a hands-on worker, can help you to showcase your skills and how you excel in your different trades areas that you're studying in. So SkillsUSA really has 2 different avenues for student members. Now, these are not one or the other. These avenues could be taken together. So there's the contest areas and there's the leadership side of SkillsUSA. So let's look at the contest areas first. So there's over 100 different contest areas which SkillsUSA offers for student members. These contest areas are typically related to your your CTE course. And then there's also some that are leadership based. So there's like job skill demonstration where you give a little presentation on how to do a certain procedure within your job. There's interview skills, there's interview application process. So there's a wide variety of different contests that can meet the needs for you to showcase your abilities. So this year's state contest is held at Western Dakota State, and it's April 7th and 8th. Now, the state contest is where all the schools will send their CTE students or skills members, and the students will compete against one another in their different contest areas. So this is typically a 2-day event, and it's going to be held at Western Dakota this year. Then the winner of the state contest has the opportunity to go on to nationals. So nationals this year is held in Atlanta, Georgia in the summer, a week in the summer where you go and compete against other states and compete against and show off your skills at the national level. So typically first place winners are allowed to go on to nationals, and if first place winners can't make it, then it's offered to the second place winner to represent the state in that contest area. So the other avenue that students could take is for the leadership. And with the leadership route, we have two different avenues within leadership. One is you could work with the state director and the state office and be a state officer where you would maybe help with recruitment. You would help schools and new chapters get up and running, where you would partake in some leadership development. And then ultimately at the state contest or the state conference in April, you help lead and facilitate that conference. So chapter officers, typically you would start as a chapter officer before taking on a state officer position. Those are going to be individuals who want to help lead and guide our local chapter for Northeast Technical High School. And you're going to plan activities, promote SkillsUSA within your courses. If you want to do different activities, maybe you want to have a social event, things like that. Those are what the state officers help plan and guide and lead and get the SkillsUSA members excited for. So there's some different avenues within leadership if you wanted to partake in those. Now, both of these areas will provide great information for your resume. So these items are resume builders. You're a SkillsUSA member. You're participated in leadership. Maybe you were a state officer, chapter officer. Those would definitely be things you would want to list on your resume as you move forward in pursuing jobs and education. You could also list your contest areas, what you competed in, what you placed, and so forth on your resume. So all of the fees associated with SkillsUSA are paid for through our fundraising efforts throughout the school year. Typically, we just do two. If you participate in one, then you don't have to do the other if you meet the minimum requirements. And these cover the hotels when we go to different conferences, when we go to nationals. It's going to cover travel and things like that. So really, this one or two fundraisers that you participate in covers all the expenses related to SkillsUSA. So even though the contest areas are held at the local technical college, this case it's out in Rapid City, they do partner with industry to help get those contests up and running, designed, laid out. So it's not just the tech school who's running it, it's also help through partnerships with industry to build contests that are relevant to what is being looked for by industry people who are hiring and skills that are needed in industry. So again, as mentioned, there's over 100 contest areas that all apply to different areas within CTE, and we're going to talk about those individual areas. So as we talk about welding class at Northeast Tech, there's a few contest areas that students could get involved with. The first would be regular welding. So that is demonstrating your skills as a welder, all of those different weld techniques, being able to weld vertically, horizontally, and upside down, those kind of things. There's different parameters which you have to be able to perform in these contests. Welding sculpture is more of a leadership one, where you're going to actually design something like over here on the left side of the screen, where you design a sculpture and it's all out of metal, and then you document the process that you did to build or create this. And so you're going to give a presentation to the judges. They're going to ask you, what kind of welds you used where, what kind of metal. Maybe you have decorative metal on the bucket of this particular one. Maybe you got treads on here. Maybe it actually moves and functions, and how the process was that you went through to build that, documenting each thing, taking pictures, following safety, those kind of things for that contest. Now, oftentimes the welding sculpture can be done in conjunction with another contest because it is a shorter contest, but we'll have to see what they allow at the state conference. You may have to choose one or the other. Welding fabrication is a team contest where a team of 3 students get together. I think it's 3, maybe it's 4, and they work together to build a project. And we haven't really participated a lot in that one at Northeast Tech, but the welding fabrication, again, is a team project. So it is kind of dependent on other people, which is one of the downfalls, where these other 2 are individual contests. So you're not, if somebody doesn't show up on contest day, it doesn't throw the whole team off because you've been planning for one person the whole time. There's some other contest areas that would relate as well that aren't really technical skills as far as performing. Like, you don't need to be a master welder for some of these other contests. For example, job skill demonstration. There's 2 avenues for this contest. There's one that's specific to the content area, so welding. So maybe you are a master at a certain skill. Maybe put a new roll of wire on a welder and get it feeded. And it's about being precise in your presentation. It's about documenting and explaining yourself as you give your presentation in the process. Maybe it's on TIG welding and how to grind TIG tips. You mastered that certain area and you want to give a little presentation on that. That could be your contest area. Now, if you did that, I would recommend doing, job skill demonstration and maybe welding sculpture, or job skill demonstration and maybe job interview, and teaming those up, because these are going to be shorter contest areas that you can do, and you're not going to take the full 2 days like you would in some of the other contests. Like welding is a longer contest compared to some of these demonstration ones. So there's also a contest area on the application process, filling out applications, writing a resume, and that process. There's job interviews. So you sit down for an interview, you get graded on your criteria of, your mannerisms and how you respond to questions, your professionalism and ability to answer questions on the spot. So that is a contest area. And then related technical math. So this is one where there's a lot of different maths, applied maths, tests that you would take. And so maybe, figuring out circumferences of, different parts, or being able to lay out geometrical shapes and things like that. So really technical math is going to be related, and it could be in any area. So maybe, the questions on an automotive question, as far as, if a cylinder is a certain circumference and travels a certain distance, how much, what is its compression rate, or, I'm just using that as an example, but it could be on anything, not necessarily welding specific. So these would be some of the different contest areas that you as a welding student could participate in as a student at Northeast Tech in the SkillsUSA program. So cabinet making has a contest of its own, where students typically come together and are given a set of plans. They typically have 4 hours or so to build a project. So a lot of it is pieces of wood that are plywood, not necessarily solid lumber that you have to glue together. And the student will work through and build the project. And the student is evaluated off of their safety. The student is evaluated off of how well they build, and the craftsmanship of the project, as well as the detail. Do you follow the plans? If one part is supposed to be a 1/2 inch and the rest of the project is 3/4 of an inch, did you put the right parts in the right place and the right thickness of the wood? There's also some other contest areas that students could participate in, like job skill demonstration. So there's job skill demonstration as it relates to cabinet making, and job skill demonstration as it relates to an open field. So maybe, for example, you're an expert at applying edge banding, or you're an expert at gluing up boards. Then you could do a presentation on the process to glue up boards, and actually, bring boards in and glue it together in front of your panel of judges. Or maybe it's an open area, and so maybe maybe you're an expert at building peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So you could do a contest, or a presentation on how to assemble with the ingredients, and how to butter on the peanut butter, and how to spread the jelly for the optimal peanut butter and jelly sandwich experience. And then there's the job interview and the job interview process. So one contest is creating a resume, filling out an interview application, And that process and the other job interview itself is being critiqued on your ability to give or perform in a job interview. So you might be graded on how well you answered questions, your dress and grooming, your professionalism, your willingness to answer questions and be appropriate during an interview. So those are different contest areas that would be available for cabinet making students for Northeast Tech course. Okay, one contest area that would be open to all SkillsUSA members is the T-shirt and design contest. And so in the past, what they have done is a student has designed the logo for the year that gets used. Typically, this is put on the SkillsUSA shirt when South Dakota goes to nationals. This is the picture that's on the back of their shirt that represents our state. And so this is a contest area. They also have a T-shirt design contest area at the national level if you that was something that interests you, but this is one that typically more students get involved with that I've seen in the past is designing a digital logo or design that represents our state of South Dakota. And there are some parameters that need to be followed. If you're interested in this contest, we can talk a little bit more individually on that topic. So yes, we do want you. We're looking for SkillsUSA members, not only to compete, but also for our state or our chapter officer. We need members to constitute our organization. So if you're interested in participating in contests or maybe taking on a leadership role, feel free to contact me or contact your teacher at Northeast Tech, and they can tell you how to get a hold of me and what you need to do to get enrolled in SkillsUSA. So there's a couple ways to sign up. So the main way to sign up is to go through the Northeast Tech homepage at northeasttechnicalhighschool.k12.sd.us. And then once you're there, you're looking for the SkillsUSA button. So over on the left side of the screen, you'll see right below member schools, there's Northeast Technical High School photos. And then right below that is SkillsUSA, Northeast Technical High School, or NTHS SkillsUSA. You're going to click on that. It brings you out to a Google form where you're going to fill out some information. So I have that information and I can enroll you as a member, and we can contact and communicate with you which contest areas you want to compete in, when events are happening with the chapter that you could compete in, and so forth. So that's how you would sign up to be a SkillsUSA member. Okay, so SkillsUSA, again, really is a great opportunity for you to showcase your abilities and skills in different areas. It's also an excellent resume builder. There's usually prizes associated with the different contest areas. So first, second, and third usually get a prize of some kind. Some years the prizes are better than others. It's all based on what industry donates. For example, some contest areas in the past have walked away with, a cordless drill or a cordless circular saw, just all depending on what industry donates to their contest areas. So some areas like automotive are a little bit more better covered from industry support, like Snap-on usually donates tools for contest prizes. And other areas like early childhood education are probably not going to have quite as much industry support with prizes as you would see in some of the other ones that are a little bit more hands-on. So again, if you're wanting to participate, please let me know and we'll get you involved with SkillsUSA. And I don't think you'll regret it. And hopefully, if you have any other questions, get a hold of me.